Hey baby, you know what I got in common with Thermal Detonator? We both explode after 3 seconds and then hit you with a cum shot. I mean max shot. Innovative Ordnance. A spec that no one plays. But why? Is it because Arsenal is that much better? Or is it just the easy way out? That and much more is gonna be discussed in this 2.5 hour long video. Arsenal. The spec that everyone and their dog plays. People just generally assume it to be superior to Innovative Ordnance. They might say it has great burst, can kite well, or that it has powerful off-healing. While I do agree that all these apply to Arsenal perfectly, they apply to Innovative Ordnance maybe even better. Innovative Ordnance has strong burst and kite much better. In terms of off-healing, I'd say they're about equal. Even though Rapid Scan costs less heat on Innovative, can basically be spammed all the time, still give the edge to Arsenal because the buff you get every time you use Tracer Missile. So now on Innovative Ordnance. I said it was better than Arsenal at basically everything, so maybe I should explain that shit. First of all, let's talk about damage. I'ma get into burst damage later. So first off, I want to make one thing clear. Innovative Ordnance is not a dot spec, at least not in the classical sense. The dots are just something you mess around with when you've got nothing else to do or you're waiting on a practical max shot reset. Like a jug's got reflect up or some shit. You don't ever try to spread your dots. Fucking retarded. Fusion Missile has a 1.5 second cast and travel time. An explosive dart takes like 2.5 seconds until it explodes. How the fuck are you supposed to spread dots like that? I don't even have them keybound because they're so fucking useless. But then again, you don't need to spread dots in the spec in the first place. Compared to Advanced Prototype, it has a dot which you put on your target to improve energy management, but it's not a dot you go around spreading unless you're stupid. But you can still cleave around and farm numbers. And get solo kills. Okay, so if you're not supposed to fuck around with dots, how do you deal damage? Well, it's very simple. You reset max shot as quickly as possible, so every 7.5 seconds. Technically, that means you can get 4 global cooldowns between each max shot. Practically, however, it rarely works out like that. You need to develop a feel for when max shot is gonna reset. Here's something you should know about max shot though. The animation of the ability is copied from the Gunslinger's quick draw, which means it not only looks the same, but also deals its damage instantly. As soon as you activate max shot, the target takes damage, even if the damage number appears a bit later. It's not like Heat Seeker missiles, which has a travel time. Use Thermal Detonator whenever it's off cooldown. You might consider Thermal Detonator and low max shot for spike damage. Thermal Detonator and max shot are going to deal the damage at around the same time. Unload is nowhere near as important in Innovative Ordnance as it is in Arsenal. Getting 6k crits on Unload is not uncommon because of the talent that increases critical damage of each tick by 30%. Power Shot is used both as filler and for resetting max shot. If it gets interrupted, which never happens, turn a Missile Blast if you don't have anything better available. One of the big advantages of Innovative Ordnance is how little it depends on RNG. On Arsenal, you either deal 6k or 20k. You either deal fucking shitty damage or amazing damage. In Innovative Ordnance, however, it's much more consistent as your damage is more spread out among several abilities. So at the beginning of the video, I said Innovative Ordnance has better burst than Arsenal. Don't believe me? Also, it might be worth noting that this footage is from patch 3.3, but the effect of the burst is still the same. Although I do have the feeling that ever since before patch 4.5, sages that didn't stun break Electronet to Force Barrier died even before the combo finished. Now they seem to survive quite regularly. It's definitely not due to change to the spec. The full combo still parses at a total of 120k damage in 15 seconds, which is 8k damage per second. Put it this way, if your target has no defensive cooldowns available, he's guaranteed to get fucking wrecked. So here's what you do. Serrated Shot if you feel like it, Incendiary Missile, Detonator, Charged Gas, Max Shot, Low, Max Shot. Oh, ain't that beautiful? It's extremely reliable as well, especially when you have the auto crit max shot available. Now this might seem a bit off topic. Does anyone know how to change Google Translate's voice from male to female? I wanna breathe some life into my sex dolls. It's out of curiosity. Hey baby, how are you doing today? Oh, right. I keep forgetting they're not alive. So to sum all this shit up, Arsenal is still a better spec. Even though Ordnance has some brutal damage when played correctly, and I do prefer the spec over Arsenal by a mile, I have to be objective here. So why is Arsenal still better? Because it deals more damage. I'm not kidding. Ordnance is indeed very fun to play. It's flexible and mobile, and because players don't deal with it too often, they don't really know how to react when they're put under pressure by it. But Arsenal still offers more to the player damage-wise. Blazing Bolts ticks, which hit for 7k each, followed by a 20k heat seeker and a 15k rail shot. Arsenal's damage is much more direct. It comes at an instant and sometimes unexpectedly due to RNG. But here's the thing. Innovative Ordnance allows for more control. It operates much better under pressure. Arsenal is a glass cannon. When you're focused, it's very likely that you're gonna go down. It's extremely easy to shut down an Arsenal mercenary. Probably the easiest spec to shut down in the game. Just interrupt Tracer missile. Innovative Ordnance is more flexible, which is why it does better in an arena environment and in regular Warzone solo queue. Arsenal is the preferred spec when you have players on your team which you know are good, like when you're in a pre-made. Arsenal can only shine when you're left to free cast, and I wouldn't count on that in solo queue. What I'm saying is, Innovative Ordnance always works.